Welcome to Backstories, the podcast where we dig deep into the untold tales behind the people, places, and moments that shape our world. Every month, we'll uncover the hidden narratives that inspire, surprise, and challenge us. So, grab your headphones and get ready to journey into the past, one backstory at a time.
Well, next up is Nick, and his story is, I Must Be the Guy.
So I'm a teacher, and on St. Patrick's Day, I heard this kid complain that everyone seemed to have forgotten it was St. Patrick's Day. I said, "What are you talking about? I'm wearing my leprechaun crocodile, my Irish crocodile." They're like, "An Irish crocodile?" I was like, "Oh yeah, St. Patrick came and he had to drive all the crocodiles out of Ireland." And I can't tell you how many kids were like, "Are you serious?" It's like, no, that's not true, but I did have a crocodile. So you can trick people with your stories. When I was a junior in college, there was a guy I knew named Dan. Might have been from around here. I don't remember. He was a Marylander. He was a great improv performer. He had a radio show called The Ice Show, which now isn't so good, I'm thinking about it. It was the Avalanche Show. And everyone had to have a snow-themed name if they came on. It was a comedy show. But he was fascinating to me. And he was a year older than me, and he was doing for his senior project a graphic novel of Candide, like a weird futuristic adaptation of Candide. And there was an artist that he just completely idolized, and he found out that this guy was going to be at a comic book convention up in Boston, and that there would be a raffle that you could put your name in, and if your name was selected, you would get to meet this artist and, maybe get an autograph or talk to him for a few moments. And so he came up with this harebrained plan that he was going to take a bus from St. Mary's County up to Boston and try to win this raffle. We were kind of saying to him, that kind of seems like a crazy idea. He's like, you don't even have money for a hotel, let alone barely a bus. And he said, well, here's the reason it's going to work. Everyone I've ever met tells me that they never win raffles. So I must be the guy who wins raffles. It's just a statistics thing. So that's not how statistics works. He said, it'll work for me. So he bought this ticket and took a bus up to Boston, and he couldn't afford a hotel. So he spent the entire night just walking around Boston, just trying to hang out places as long as he could without having to buy anything, and just wandered around. And sure enough, he won the raffle, and he got to meet this guy, and he brought all of his pages that he was working on for his drawings and showed the guy, and he gave him some feedback. And he completely blew my mind with this harebrained, anti-statistical, perfect plan that he came up with. And I thought, isn't that great that someone has that look in life, that they think, what if it is me that's the lucky person? Why not? And sure enough, a year later, they were having this kind of competition at school. They were doing like a Triwizard tournament at our school with like feats of nerd strength or something. I don't remember. And they were picking names out of this goblet, Harry Potter, so that you could get a chance to compete. And I knew the fella Peter who was pointed out, who kind of looks like Ron Weasley, actually, now that I think about it. He was pulling names out, and I said, please, will you pick me? Will you please pick me? And he's like, I can't just pick names out. It's just whatever comes out. And I thought back to Dan, and I said, I'm the guy. I have to be the guy. And sure enough, he pulls my name out as the last one, and I'm like, Dan Glassberg, thank you. And I won, and I'm the Triwizard champion 2012, St. Mary's College, Maryland. So be the person. You might be the lucky one. Not maybe every time, but every once in a while. St. Mary's? There's always a St. Mary's person in the crowd, right? Yes. There you go. Look at that. And maybe they'll be the Triwizard champion next time. So, thank you.